proportional relationships on graphs by plotting points from a table. You're going to have to check some cool stuff, make sure that it abides by all those rules, and make sure that you really pay attention to the two big rules that make a graph proportional. Take notes, do practice, and enjoy.
All right, welcome back to YouTube with Lubelski. We're working on proportional relationships, and hopefully you've already done some of my other videos to give you kind of a foundation for this, because in some of my other videos I've already talked about using tables and graphs, and so hopefully now you're going to kind of get to put all of that together. And so in this situation, we are going to use the graph to tell whether X and Y are in a proportional relationship. So what I have to do first is I have to actually graph these coordinates. So if no one's ever showed you this, it's actually kind of cool. In a table, there are all these coordinates because there's an X and a Y in every little pair right there. And so I'm going to graph the coordinate -5, -35. So just a quick little intervention. If you're not familiar with graphing, this is my X and this is my Y. So I'm going to go left, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. And now I'm going to go down, because it's a negative again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh no, it's going by sevens. Man, I didn't even check my intervals. Let me just roll that on back. By 7, so down 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Now I plot my point right there. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of all that mess. And I am going to plot that at that -5. Oh no. What happened? It's not working. Okay, I got my pen working. So sorry about the little detour there. But our point was -5, -35. So then I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. The next one is -4, -28. So I'm going to go over to -4, down to -28 and plot my point. Then I'm going to go to -2 and I'm going to go down to -14. Then I'm going to go to +2, +14. And then I'm going to go to 3, 21. And with you can use a ruler to do this, but if we connect the dots, I like to call this plain connect the dots. Okay, I line up all my dots and I connect them. Then we can look at the graph of the situation and we can actually say, hey, this is great. We've got a straight line. And it goes through the origin 0, 0. And if both of those things are true, then this is a proportional relationship, which is what we're trying to identify. Another cool thing that you could have done is you could have done the Y over X relationship in the table that we've learned previously. And if I do -35 over -5, I get, the negatives cancel and I get 7. And then I do -28 divided by -4 and I get 7. -14 divided by -2 is 7. And if I check all of the ratios between Y over X, they all do come out to be 7. So that's just even more proof that we have a relationship that's proportional. But we are focused on using the graph in this situation, and plotting the points can actually go a lot faster than doing the ratios over and over again like that. So I do highly recommend learning this method, because looking at the graph, plotting the points and looking at the graph can be a lot faster. So let's clean up this a little bit, and let's go ahead and go on to number 2. So number 2, we're going to start graphing again. So over 4 in the positive, so that's to the right, and then up to 12, plot my point. We always have to go left or right, and then up or down, and then plot the point. For the next one, we did that one. 0, 4 is I don't go left or right at all, and I just go straight up to 4 and plot my point. The next one is back to -2 and then 0 up and down. And right there, I can connect these dots immediately, and I don't even have to graph everything else because right there, I just missed my mark. It does not go through 0, 0, which means it is not proportional. Ran out of space. All right, so let's do number 3. In the table, I can look and see that 0, 3 is not 0, 0. So that right there is going to tell me this isn't proportional just by looking at the table, but they want us to use the graph. So let's check the graph and let's try that. So +3, -3. Then we have +3, 0. Then we have +3, 2. +3, 4, +3, 6. That's weird. We've got a straight line through x equals 3. And that's definitely not through the origin. It is a straight line, but it doesn't go through 0, 0. So if it's not through 0, 0, it is not proportional. Running out of space, running out of space. Let me just make more space. There we go. And our last one, 4. I don't see anything that has to do with 0 up there, so I don't know yet. So I'm going to go ahead, and I do notice that 15 and 15, 5 and 5, 5 and 5, 10 and 10, 15, 15. So I have a feeling that that's going to show me something kind of cool. So let's graph this. -15 to the left, up to +15. -5 to the left, up 5. Over +5, down to -5, over +10, down to -10, over +15, down to -15. Connect that through and boom, right through the 0, 0, and it's a straight line that connects. So if it's 0, 0 and it's a straight line, we can say that the graph of this is indeed proportional. Graphs are probably my favorite, you guys, just because for graphs, they are pretty quick and easy. Now that you've seen how to do questions 1 through 4, I do want you to try graphing 5 and 6 on your own. Pause the video right here and do it yourself. When you hit the play button again, you're going to see me doing the problems quickly. I'm not going to do a voiceover for it. I'm just going to do it real quick so that you can see the final answers and compare it to your final answers. But this is where you truly do test whether or not you are pushing yourselves to the max. Are you taking the time to try this on your own and work independently? Or are you just copying down the problems? Because when it comes to assessments, you're not going to be able to do it if you don't push yourself. Remember that mistakes are proof that you're trying. If you get it wrong, okay, ask your teacher, ask me if I am your teacher, and we can clarify any misconceptions you might have. So go ahead, hit pause, push yourself, do 5 and 6 on your own. When you unpause it, it's going to be me jumping right into doing the problems myself so you can check your work. Go ahead and pause. Did you pause? I hope you paused. If you didn't pause and you're just copying, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just kidding. I know that some of you are still doing extra practice problems, but go ahead and follow along as I go through this quickly to check your final answer against mine. I have no idea what kind of graph that is. I can tell you it's not proportional though. It does not go through the origin, and it is not a straight line. Number 6. That one was super close, but it still missed the origin, so it is also not proportional. Oh, running out of space again. There you have it. Questions 5 and 6 were both not proportional. And there's our whole worksheet. Make sure you do extra practice problems if your teachers gave you the worksheets. If they did not, then hopefully this video has helped you really kind of secure that knowledge of if it goes through 0, 0 and it is a straight line, it's proportional. If it misses either of those two things, then it's no longer proportional.
Did you get it done? Did you pause when I told you to pause? Did you listen to me? Oh, did you? I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. You're so good. Yay, that's my person. You want to know why? Because you are fabulous and you are so beautiful to me. Don't act like that wasn't great. Isn't it fun when your teachers make fools of themselves? Make sure you do extra practice and always remember,